Hi, I'm Jimmy. In this video, we're looking at three value stocks that could be interesting long-term buy and hold investments, depending on our portfolio, of course. So I've tried to diversify these three from different sectors. And then there's actually one bonus one at the end that's maybe less of a value opportunity, but it's certainly an interesting company to look at. So the first company is Stryker. It's a medical devices company. And as we can see here, when we look quickly at the scoring system, well, they have 2 stars for the income statement and 3 stars for both the balance sheet and cash flow statement. So we're off to a decent start. Now, one of the reasons I found this company interesting is when we jump over and look at the chart, well, we can see that the stock is down about 20%, give or take, over the past year. So that immediately raised my antennas as to whether or not this could be an interesting investment. Then when we jump over to the fair value section and we look at the forward PE ratio, this is a chart, the 10-year chart of Stryker's own historical forward price to earnings multiple. And we can see that right now it is on the low end. So I think that this pullback could be an interesting opportunity. Now, real quick, when we jump over and look at the dividend section here, they do pay a small dividend. It's consistent, but it's about a 1% yield. So nothing huge there. But I personally, on a personal basis, I don't have any medical device companies in my portfolio. So this could be an interesting one to consider. Okay, then for our next company, we're going to jump over to a financial company in S&P Global. This is a company that manages indexes like the S&P 500, things like that. Well, when we look at their summary page, we can see, again, they got 2, 2, and 3 from a star system on our summary page. So 2 is decent, 3 is strong. Well, then we jump over and look at the chart real quick. Again, this stock's down about 20%. So right off the bat, could be some interesting opportunities. When we jump in and look at the fair value, once again, sticking with forward PE ratio, we can see over the past decade, it is right near the low end right now. So this is another one that could be worth a deeper dive to see if it could, one, does it fit well into our portfolio? And 2, make sure we don't see any gigantic red flags. At first glance, when I was going through the numbers, there didn't appear to be a lot wrong with this company that would cause it to be down as much as it is. Right now, I have found that much of the stock market is being pulled up by a handful of companies. So I think we might be left with some opportunities like this or like Stryker, or in the instance of our next company, this one's Realty Income Corporation, ticker symbol O. So this is a REIT, or a real estate investment trust. First glance, we got 222 on the star system, so decent all across the board. But now when we jump in and look at the fair value section, well, on the Investors Grow website, there's a new tab for REITs that pops up when you're looking at a REIT, and this one says REITs. Jump in and look at that, and now you can see the optimal or the simplest fair way to value a REIT is to use price to funds from operations. It's sort of like a blend between free cash flow and price to earnings. Similar type of thing, but it's specifically for REITs. Well, when we look at that chart, we can see that Realty Income does in fact look like it's undervalued right now. Now, one of the reasons that people like REITs is they pay decent dividends. When we jump over and look at the dividend page, first, you might notice on this chart here how frequent those dividends are. This, in fact, pays a monthly dividend, a dividend yield of about 5.5%. And one of the reasons that these companies are able to pay higher dividend yields is the way the REIT structure is taxed in the United States. So basically, they don't have to pay corporate income tax as long as they pay out most of their profits as dividends or distributions. So they pay out these dividends, and essentially we get a higher dividend yield. So we kind of don't get double taxed, because in theory, for most regular companies, they get taxed on the profit, then they pay out a dividend with that profit, and then we get many times taxed on the dividends. So it's kind of double taxation. So one of the advantages of REITs is that they could pay higher dividend yields. So if dividends are what we're after, well, this could be an interesting one to consider. Okay, now that bonus company that I was looking at, this one's a little tricky. Now, I actually already own this company, and that is Microsoft. First, on the summary page, we got 333 from a star standpoint, and I think Microsoft is one of the stronger companies out there. And interesting, when we look at the price chart for Microsoft, well, over the past year, Microsoft stock is down, despite many big companies like Microsoft being up a decent amount. Microsoft is one of the few that are down. And when we jump over to the fair value section, so when we look at forward price to earnings multiple, well, Microsoft right now, this is a 10-year chart, And it's sitting near its low from a forward price to earnings multiple perspective. It's sitting near its low over the past decade. So this could be a real opportunity. Now, on a discounted cash flow perspective, this is why this wasn't in the top 3. It's actually not quite undervalued. And when we see this chart here, this chart is a chart of analyst estimates. The green bars are analyst estimates for free cash flow. We can see it pulls back and then ramps back up. A lot of that pullback is the amount of capital expenditures that they have going out towards AI. So because of that, well, it is really compressing what the fair value would be. Depends on how long we want to estimate out, but I'm just going with a few years using analyst estimates. So from a discounted cash flow perspective, it's not quite undervalued. From a PE perspective, it looks quite good right now. So I do think that this is an interesting one to consider. If it keeps pulling back, I might consider like buying a few more shares in my own personal portfolio, but I already own this company at a fairly good price. So I'm not too worried about its pullback at this point, but it could be an interesting one if you're interested in just getting into it now. Okay, so let me know if you have any other companies that you think would be good additions to this list. I'm looking for companies that are long-term buy and hold and ideally trading at a decent discount right now. Let me know if you have any in the comments below. And if you want to sign up to get access to the Investors Grow website, I will leave a link right here, link in the description below. And thank you so much for sticking with me all the way to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.